Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this another brand new day. It is 7:10 a.m. on Tuesday, the 17th of July. Hello. I'm very sorry. I tried to get Boogle to come out of her house, but she is not coming out of her house. I poked around with sticks and made lots of noise, called her name. Yeah, I called her name. I was going to say, no, that's not right. I called her names, but that isn't right either. I just called her name, and she didn't come out. If she happens to wander out of her bin, she's not going to wander out of her bin. If she wanders out of her house, inside of her bin cage, then I'll pick her up and show her off during my vlogging time here. But for right now, I'm very sorry, no hamster. She was up, and in fact, after talking about how she hasn't savaged me, she savaged me this morning, bit my thumb, drew blood, and in fact I had to give her, I lifted her into the air and she was hanging by her teeth from my thumb, had to give her a flick, and she went bwee about 6 inches and landed on her house on her back. I grabbed her and was looking at her and looking at my thumb and trying to figure, why did you do that? I was saying, why did you do that? But I wasn't hurting her. I just had hold of her and looked at my thumb and then went, oh, because I picked up some stuff earlier and I'm quite sure it smelled tasty. And so that tasty smell was on my thumb, and she wasn't biting and savaging me because she was savage. She was biting and savaging my thumb because it smelled like food. The rest of me was fine because she climbed up my hand and was on my hand and was sniffing around and then went, oh, ngar, onto my thumb. What? Wee. So she savaged my thumb, but it really wasn't her fault. She wasn't savaging me to savage me. It's because it smelled like food. So you always got to be careful. I mean, they're sentient little critters with tiny little minds, tiny little personalities. Just remember the tiny little brain part. They can't figure out a lot of stuff. So it only drew a tiny bit of blood, so I put some rubbing alcohol. That's right. It's, what is that, ethyl alcohol or methyl? I have it right next to me. Always keep this stuff around just in case. It is, well, isopropyl, but, well, one is ethyl alcohol, the one you drink, and one is methyl. Okay, ethanol is what they put in gasoline, so that's ethyl alcohol. I can't figure out which one it is, because now it's like, because regular engines will also run a regular alcohol, so ethanol is probably the real one. Methanol is the one that kills you. Don't drink methanol. You will convulse and die. But I poured that on my thumb and squished it around, so hopefully that is not going to get infected. If it does, it will only get infected for a while. Let's say it gets infected for a week. Well, that's 7 days out of 365. That's not very many, is it? That's only a tiny fraction of a year. Let's say that's week. That's week. That's a week. Now, there's 52 weeks in a year. That's only 1 out of 52. That's a tiny chunk of a year. That's nothing if that's infected for a week. Who cares? Yay. Now, I don't have any real things to talk about today, and I'm very sorry about that. I mean, there are some things I do want to talk about, but I don't have any major things that I want to talk about. One thing is, I want to apologize, because again, I've got the fan from Thomas McCardle. Oops. I'm going to have to, well, hopefully you don't mind the name, otherwise I'm going to like put in a thank you much over the top of that. And I got a fan in the window over there that's going at the same time. I want to make sure it's cool now and tries to stay cool, because oh my gosh, it was so hot yesterday. I almost died. Now I'm actually feeling pretty good today, but that's not necessarily true, because when I first woke up I felt pretty good. Got some clothing on, came in here, grabbed some stuff, went downstairs to go to the bathroom, get my teeth cleaned and all that. And by the time I got downstairs, I had, oh, my cat is, oh boy, I'm probably going to have to stop recording this because it looks like she wants to get out of the window and I can't get her out the window. The box fan's in the window, so if she wants to leave, she's going to have to go out that way. But by the time I got downstairs to the bathroom, I spent like 5 minutes bent over, hacking, desperately trying to breathe. I'm very sorry. I'll be right back. My sincere apologies. My cat has been, well, not my cat, but my cat. Because we can't have a cat here, so we don't have a cat. I have a cat that has me, but I don't have a cat. But she has been super clingy and super annoying this morning because she's been just meowing and coming all around me and wanting something, but unable to tell me what it is. It's not food. I fed her. It's not being petted, because if I pet her, she complains and bites at me. And it's not where everything is. She doesn't want to sit down. She's just wandering, meowing, and doing things and causing problems. And she doesn't know what she wants. And so, yay, she's been making my life fun this morning. So, I'm pretty happy right now. Actually, I'm pretty irritated right now. But that's the way life is, isn't it? At least she's alive, and that's a good thing, so I can't be too irritated. Now, I gotta try and keep this all in my head, because normally I just look at the clock there and go, oh, it's getting close to 20 minutes, time to wrap this up. Now I've got the mental arithmetic of going, okay, gotta subtract 5 minutes from everything, and that's gotta subtract 5 minutes from that, because that's when so, yay, I'm pretty happy right now. But let's see if I can even remember half of what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I was bent over and hacking for like 5 minutes. I could barely breathe. It was terrible. I could barely get this stuff up and out deep, and the problem is some of it had color to it. Now that's not good, because if you've got color in your secretions that you're coughing up, that means bacterial growth, and bacterial growth can mean bronchitis, pneumonia. Now, I'm not going to have pneumonia. There's none of that. But it could be bronchitis. Now, at the same time, it could be just all up here, because I'm listening to myself and I'm still super nasal sounding, which means I've got a lot of post-nasal drip, which means my sinuses, of course, are just draining down the back of my throat into my lungs, and that stuff that I'm coughing up could just be secretions from up here. That's a lot of what you cough up when you're coughing. It's just you're always draining from everywhere, and biology is disgusting, so you really don't want to know the details if you don't like gross stuff. Past the thought that I've told you, where it's just you're constantly, your sinuses draining down the back of your throat as you're talking and as you're just breathing. So thumbs up. Oh, as a quick aside on that, when I was thinking about this, one of the things you have to do when I was talking especially about deep breathing after surgery, you don't just want to deep breathe after surgery. One of the things that happens when you just sit and you don't deep breathe is all the little alveoli, which are the little air sacs at in your lungs. Naturally, they start to slowly close off as you're just breathing. It just happens. And so you're at 100% capacity, say, but by just sitting and breathing normally, you are slowing down to like 90% capacity. Now, it's not ever going to be dangerous, but you will feel it. You will get drowsy. That's why we're not quite sure about yawning. And we're pretty sure that sighing is one of those things, because when you sigh, what that does is, boom, every single one of your alveoli, you're back to 100% capacity. So you've got to deep breathe. You've got to open up. You've got to get those things open. You've got to be coughing. I want to stress that one again. Please do not take medication that suppresses your cough reflex, not suplex. It's not like a suplex. It's WWE, World Wrestling Coughing Federation. But try and figure out where I was going off of that one. But still, you want to cough and get that stuff out, because otherwise it's just going to sit down here, and that ain't good. Also, I've been getting rid of a whole lot of my shirts still. I got a massive amount still of 3Xs. I think this one's a 2X, and it's a circus tent on me. I'm down to 175 pounds. I'm hopefully going to be getting my food card in the mail. So if it gets intercepted, then boy, oh boy, oh boy, things aren't going to be good. So hopefully things will be okay. Now, one thing I did want to show, well, a couple things actually, but now that I've got next to no time, I'm bonking into my mic stand. My apologies, this was over just on top of things. I did get this. Now I've got to try and block off names and all this, but a kind subscriber from the Norway. I couldn't remember, and because I just woke up an hour ago, but a kind subscriber from Norway sent me a GPU that they had not been using. Now, I just got that yesterday. I managed to pick it up, and then it got too hot for me to do anything but die. So I've got it. I got to open it up. I'm going to be putting it into my machine. I'm going to be checking it out. That'll be awesome. Thank you so very, 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 very much. I cannot remember who that, well, I can tell you maybe a quick name, if a quick name is on there. I will say nothing other than I cannot read. Here we are. Oh yes, it's Kristen. From the handwriting. I don't want to say anything past that for identifying purposes, but thank you so very, very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Oh, there was something else now. What was it? I can't remember. Oh well. Such is life. Charvy is still doing okay, and Mama Squeak is still doing okay. At least she was last night. I was feeding the hamsters this morning and such, and well, I was feeding Boogle my thumb this morning, and I got Charvy up and was playing with him, and he's still doing great. His fur, he's still losing his original fur, but he's still got new fur slowly coming back in. So it could be a mold. Jamie's division, Jamie Rivers, Jamie went and did some Googling for me, and I looked it up. The issues that are common for hair loss, the only ones that really apply are like molting, old age, and such like that. Because past that, the diet's fine. There's no real, well, he could have stuff like diabetes or Crohn's disease, such like that. I don't know. I see no indications of stuff like diabetes, but the only real way to tell is for like a hamster is excessive drinking, because you drink a lot when you got diabetes, and he doesn't drink an excessive amount. So, but he's still okay. Mama Squeak, not running around this morning doesn't mean a lot. She's got her nest at the far end of the bin, which is that I have the lid on top, and it slid so that you can see mostly this side. She has her nest over here, so I have to slide it way over and then put my head under to look and see if she's underneath over there. And I did not do that this morning. I didn't want to wake her up if she was sleeping, because she's fine and she's getting older, so let her sleep. So later on I'm going to check on her, but for right now she was doing fine last night. She's still great. She's living, and she's getting thinner, but she's still moderately meaty, so it's a good thing. Oh yeah, one of the things I was going on about with my weight. Yeah, I'm down to 175, but because it's a slower weight loss than it was like when I lost half my body mass 2 years ago, when I went from 325 to 160 in like a month and a half. So it's slower than that, at least. I mean, you're only supposed to lose like 2 pounds a week, and it's been a little bit faster than that. It's been like a month and a half that I've lost like 15-20 pounds so far, because I was usually between 190 195, but we just haven't had anything to eat. And I did eat something yesterday. I managed to have a sandwich, so it's not like I'm entirely starving. But in some cases, yeah, I mean, I'm losing weight because I actually am starving. Fun. It's a new experience. In a way, I don't mind. I'm experiencing something new and different, and I don't mind new experiences. It's unusual. So, and I've already been anorexic when I've lost half my body mass. I developed anorexia, so My anorexia is kind of part and parcel with this, not making me go out and like really search for food, because I'm quite sure that I could get back into the system over at the food bank. I probably could, and that would get me, I think right now that you get about like if you take a box, they fill it up like a third of the way with food items. There's not a lot of food items that people give out right now, and hasn't been for a while. And I haven't been in the system since my wife died, and my kids were I was going to say taken away, but they weren't taken away. We gave them guardianship to her sister and such. That's a weird one. That wasn't even a Freudian slip. That was just weird. But we gave our children guardianship to my late wife's sister. So I've been out of the food bank system for 5 years or more. I should probably go in and check on that. In fact, today's Tuesday. I have to talk to the... Oh yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to say. I talked to the storage unit yesterday. The storage unit people, they don't take PayPal, because there's a standard fee that PayPal charges. Now they'll take MasterCard or Visa, even though they both charge a standard fee, and apparently MasterCard runs PayPal, but there's a standard fee that PayPal charges, so they don't take PayPal, even though, once again, all the others charge the same standard fee, but they take those. So the one fellow that I talked to on the phone yesterday was like, oh yeah, they'll send you a check. And it's like, the person I talked to, it's prorated. I gotta get it done like today. So she wasn't there. I gotta call them up and talk to this person today. Find out if we can like freeze the prorating. Say, I got the frickin' money right here. If they're gonna send me a check, can we stop the proration because the money's arrived on this day? Because if we can do that, then they can send me a check, and then I can just hand it right over to them, and that'll be fine. But if they don't stop the proration, it depends on when the check shows up. So I gotta call her up and talk to her. They've been very, well, not accommodating, but they've been nice on the phone, so hopefully we can get something done. Boy. Yeah, talking about my children though. My daughter, before my wife even died, my daughter wanted to change her first name so that it wasn't her first name anymore. She wanted it to be her nickname, which we have. Her name is, 10 letters long, and she wanted it to be into the 6-letter long thing. Even before my wife died, my daughter wanted to change her last name so that it was my in-laws' last name. For the past couple years, my daughter, if I'm in the same room with her, will barely even look at me, barely talk to me. I know she feels betrayed. I'm not angry. I am upset because I'm human, but I'm not angry. I understand she feels betrayed and abandoned by her mother. And then, of course, I broke. So, of course, she probably feels abandoned by me, too. My son I've been reaching out to, so that's a good thing, and I'm trying, doing my best, and that's a good thing. And I haven't got time to do anything. I've screwed everything up. I've messed up. I don't even have time to thank people if I want to keep this under 20 minutes. My cat doing this sort of thing. I meant 4 minutes ago to start thanking people and doing my normal spiel. I'm not going to be able to because I've been so flipped out in my head. My sincere apologies. You are all beautiful and wonderful people, and I've messed up by not thanking people, and I've ruined my own schedule, and I think today is going to be just that kind of day. But I'm not going to beat myself up too much, because of course I'm going to beat myself up about this. I got low self-esteem. That's what people with low self-esteem do. And it's not even a conscious thing anymore. When you've got that, you just beat yourself up. So I'm going to do my best to consciously not do that, but you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and my day is just a mess today, but hopefully yours is much better.